Hey everybody, this is your figurative language test for 2022. Make sure you put your last name, first name, and the hour that you are in. Number one, an example of alliteration is silently, softly, the swan swam in the swamp. True or false? Alliteration is the repetition of consonant sounds at the beginning of words. True or false? The next one. An example of a simile is the boys dove on the ball like angry dogs, snarling for a bone. True or false? The next one. A metaphor is a comparison where we say that one thing is something else. True or false? Next one. Personification is the name given to the term which describes non living objects that qualities. Okay, let me reread that. Personification is the name given to the term which describes giving non living objects the qualities of a living thing. True or false? Next one. An example of a metaphor is the ballerina is a beautiful swan. True or false? The next one. An example of a simile is the students were like ants crowded around the pizza box. True or false? The next one. An example of personification is the icy air kicks my chest. True or false? The next one. An example of a simile is I really do like ice cream. True or false? The next one. Imagery is the term given to the whole way in which a writer conveys the images he or she is creating for the reader. Let me read that again. Imagery is the term given to the whole way in which a writer conveys the images he or she is creating for the reader. True or false? Next one. An example of a metaphor is her hair is as shiny as ebony. A metaphor is her hair is as shiny as ebony. True or false? The next one. Before the movie began, I told the students to hit the lights. This is an example of hyperbole, personification, idiom, imagery, or alliteration. The next one. The sunflowers nodded their yellow heads. This is an example of hyperbole, personification, idiom, imagery, or alliteration. The next one. Charming children chat in the corner. This is an example of hyperbole, personification, idiom, imagery, or alliteration. The next one. I could hear the popping and crackling as my mom dropped the bacon into the frying pan, and soon the salty, greasy smell wafted toward me. This is an example of hyperbole, personification, idiom, imagery, or alliteration. Last one. I was so embarrassed that I wanted to die. This is an example of hyperbole, personification, idiom, imagery, or alliteration. Now you're going to hit next. Oh, I got to put my name into it. So I will go and I will put the second part of the reading also. Okay, after you hit next, you came to part 2, analyze the concepts. Each one of these lines is labeled or numbered, 1 through 9. I'm going to read this short poem, and then you're going to answer questions such as in line 2, blank is used, a hyperbole, an idiom, imagery, alliteration, metaphor, simile. So once you have that, and each we're going to be looking at line 2, line 3, line 4, line 5, and then we're going to go on to the next section. So make sure that you're looking at lines 2, 3, 4, and 5, and you can pause, but you're looking for these figurative languages: hyperbole, idiom, imagery, alliteration, metaphor, and simile. Okay. In winter, outside my window, I notice Winter walking towards the house. His cane clacks the sidewalk like hailstones. His cloak casts such lengthy shadows. His cloak casts such lengthy shadows. His beard leans into the chilly wind, and his arrival changes the world that once grew and thrived in greens and pinks outside my window. Let me read it one more time. Outside my window, I notice Winter walking towards the house. His cane clacks the sidewalk like hailstones. His cloak casts such lengthy shadows. His beard leans into the chilly wind, and his arrival changes the world that once grew and thrived in greens and pinks outside my window. So, again, you are looking for line 2, line 3, line 4, and line 5, and you're identifying which figurative language is for each one of those lines. Okay, then you're going to continue to the next section. Yours looks a little bit different than mine. You're going to hit the next button, but then you're going to get to this part right here. This is the application and construction of concepts. Each question is worth 4 points. 1 point for mechanics, which means that you're identifying spelling, punctuation. 2 points for the correct usage of that figurative language. 1 point for staying focused on the topic. So that's your 4 points. You're going to be looking at a picture. It may or may not be this specific picture. Mrs. Galbuda feels that she wants to change it every hour. So you might be looking at these beautiful fireworks, or you may not. Either way, you are still going to be answering the following questions per the picture that you have here. Write a sentence to describe the picture that demonstrates a simile. Write a sentence that demonstrates personification. Write a sentence that describes imagery. And write a sentence that describes a hyperbole. Once you have written a sentence that describes each one of these 4 figurative languages, you are done. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I hope you all did well. Please, if you have any questions about this test or any clarification that you need, please reach out to the teacher. Have a great day. Bye.